Hey folks, we're going to make this fast because it is windy and it is cold out here, and I tried it inside but the lighting was so bad. I want to talk about supportive care for ailing or elderly chickens, especially during the cold months and after a molt. And I would consider that an ailing chicken, even though it's a natural process, it's not an illness. But if you combine the molt with being elderly and winter at the same time, you know, you've got a problem here. Case in point, my Atlas. He would be 9 years old after the beginning of the year. I think he was hatched in February, March, I can't remember. He would be 9 years old, and he's very elderly. He's a large fowl barred Plymouth Rock rooster. He's the oldest living large fowl rooster I've ever had. At that age, I've had an 11-year-old bantam rooster, but for being a large one, it's like the difference between a Great Dane and a Chihuahua. Chihuahuas often live to be 20 years old. Great Danes, 8, 9 years old. So anyway, Atlas has been ailing. He's been off his feed, and I give him normally, since he's not a hen, he doesn't need layer pellets with calcium in it. I usually give him a I may give him a few of those because they're higher protein, but he has a 14-grain gamecock conditioner as his main feed, which has 16% protein, and it contains, among other things, some dried peas and corn, and he loves those things normally, but he was off his feed. He was leaving those in a bowl, and he was molting badly. He's losing weight. He's extremely thin. His comb is now laying on his head instead of standing up. So Atlas is he's elderly, and he's also going through the end of his molt, which is a stress on the body, and it's cold. It's gotten very cold. Granted, he has a heat lamp. Now, supportive care for a chicken. If you think they're actually ill and they're getting picked on, it's probably best to separate them. Make sure they have deep bedding. Make sure they have warmth. They often cannot regulate their body temperature. Chickens' body temperature is normally about 102. However, if they're not fully feathered, or if they're old, or if they're ailing, they may have trouble regulating their body temperature. Corn does not make them hot. Corn does not make them warmer at night. I don't care what people said, that's an old farmer's tale. The only reason you might want to feed more of that low protein, high fat food in the cold months is to keep their body weight up, and to keep it doesn't heat them up like some people say. They say, oh, give them corn at night to keep them warm. That doesn't work. But it does provide extra fat and calories that they may need in the wintertime to stay warm, keep their body weight up, keep the fat on their body. Atlas is very thin. But you would separate a bird, you may have to give them a spot of heat. These ceramic reptile bulbs in a brooder lamp, as long as you have a guard underneath it. And I don't mean the guards that come with the lamps. I'm talking about a guard of hardware cloth mesh, where if the thing broke at the base, it can't fall into shavings. So you would give them some kind of heat spot. And if you have no electricity in your coop, or you can't put them somewhere where you can give them a spot of heat, the best thing to do is provide them a deep layer of hay or straw. Having grown up on my grandfather's farm, I can tell you that being in a hayloft, hunkered down in the hay, is quite warm. So you need to make sure they're warm, because molting chickens who are naked, older chickens who are also molting and in the cold, can't maintain their weight, and they can't maintain their body heat. Supportive care. If you have a chicken a lot of times you'll have a chicken who is just ailing and you don't know what's wrong. They're not molting, it's not cold, but you don't know what's wrong. The best thing, or maybe you have a chicken who is injured. Leg injuries are infamous for taking forever to heal, if they're going to heal. Best thing to do is give them extra protein. Many times a chicken has had a leg injury, I will actually shave some beef liver off. Now it's very high in iron. They're not supposed to have high in iron. I will shave them. I keep a chunk of beef liver in the freezer, and I might shave a little bit of beef liver off and put it in some scrambled eggs. Gives them a big shot of B vitamins. It's very good in healing, to aid in healing. You don't want to just give them a lot of liver. Also, you can get some polyvisol baby vitamins. It's in a dropper bottle. It has A, C, D, E, and some B vitamins. I don't think it used to have E, but it does now. And you can just drop several drops on the food that you give them every day. It's a fine vitamin supplement for as long as you get the kind that does not contain iron. You don't want to have extra iron. A lot of the horse supplements, the horse vitamins, contain iron. Horses can take iron. Chickens cannot. So just know that if you try to supplement anything, avian species have particular needs, just like cats a lot of times cannot handle things that dogs can. So make sure that whatever supplement you give them is not having a bunch of iron in it. For instance, a red cell that they often give horses. If you have a few drops of that once in a while, it's not going to hurt a chicken, but I would not give red cell on a regular basis, even if they need extra vitamins. But extra protein, make sure you're helping them regulate their body heat. Give them some extra vitamins. Give them something to pique their appetite, because a lot of times they're not eating. Like Atlas was not eating the favorite parts of his food, and I knew something was off, but he had to eat because he was losing weight. And then here we go, step in Grub Terra. You remember Grub Terra? They make sustainable chicken products. They sell nice bags of the black soldier fly larva. The first time they approached me was back when my Wendy, who is Atlas's half-sister, she was dying. I knew she was dying, but she wouldn't eat. And you know me, I want to keep them eating and drinking water, even if they're dying, even if I know they're not going to be around long. I want to make sure that they're not dehydrated and they're not suffering. So Grub Terra said, could I send you a bag of this black soldier fly larva? Now, I fed chickens mealworms in the past, but I'd never fed them that. And apparently, black soldier fly larvae have 75% more calcium than mealworms, so it's really good for even eggshell quality. Now, it's extremely high in protein. I think it's like 36% protein, which I've never seen a chicken turn down these dried worms, these dried either mealworms or the black soldier fly larva. I didn't mind saying, even though I don't usually accept things like that on my channel, boy, you should see some of the things I've been offered, crazy stuff. But this made sense, so I accepted it. And that was one thing that Wendy would eat. It made her eat. And so now Atlas is off his feed, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get more. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I get an email from Grub Terra, said, we'd like to work with you again. So they sent me another 1 pound bag, and I'll put a picture of the bag up here. It's open in the barn. I would take it and bring it up here, but it's very cold right now, and I've left it in the barn. So I got the bag of Grub Terra, and Atlas went crazy. First thing, I was having to give him, every morning I was getting up and I was giving him eggs and grits. He loves scrambled eggs and grits. He loves anything that I bring him special. But cooking for the king of the barn every morning kind of gets tiring. I just make a special meal for one chicken every morning. Usually I give some to Drusilla because she's crippled in another pen, and you know. But he just, I can't cook for him every morning, and I really want him to keep eating. So they sent me this bag of black soldier fly larvae, and his eyes, when he saw that bag, his eyes lit up. He was all over that. I sprinkled some on his food and he would dive in. So once again, that particular supplement saved the day. It's extreme nutrition, and it just gives them their appetite back. So I want to thank Grub Terra for sending me another bag of this wonderful stuff, because my Atlas adores it. And you know, when they're not eating and it's cold and they're experiencing stress on the body and they're old at the same time, anything you can do. So anyway, I will tell you now, if you would like to try some of their, I think they have them some sustainably sourced and whatever, but go to the GrubTerra website. The link is in my description box, as well as a code for 10% off of anything that you buy from GrubTerra if you'd like to have it. Like everything else, from the very first time that they contacted me, I guess it's been a couple of years, I'm not sure. It's been a while. And because Wendy's been gone a while now, things have gone up in price. Like everything else, our feed has gone up, our pine shaving has gone up, the black soldier fly larva has gone up in price. It's everything's gone up in price. But I'm just letting you know that. But just in case you bought them before and you're going to go back and buy some more, but look in the description box. If you want to look at their website, go check it out. And but I tell you what, that is one thing that if you do have an ailing, elderly chicken with a mystery illness, chicken that just won't eat, I would highly suggest you grab some of these. Yeah, mealworms will do that, but the black soldier fly larvae seem to have a lot more nutrition than even mealworms. So I would suggest some of those if you really are worried about the bird that you're taking care of. And anyway, but yeah, so if you're taking care of a chicken with those kind of issues, the supportive care, like you know, make sure that you help them regulate the body temperature. Make sure that you get them to eat and add extra protein. You can even give them a can of tuna. My chickens love tuna. They like scrambled eggs, but sometimes, you know, you might not have eggs, and they may not be producing eggs for you to eat. So it's hard to get them eggs if they're not giving you eggs. The extra protein with the tuna or the chicken or the black soldier fly larva or all of it, just get them something to make them eat, to encourage them to eat, because when they're off their feed, they can't keep themselves warm, and it's hard for them to heal. And the polyvisol liquid baby vitamins, I always keep some of those around. Make sure it's the kind without iron, though. Just make sure of that. So that's the way I usually provide for supportive care for my birds who are ailing. I, from time to time, have crippled birds, and Drusilla now, her arthritis has taken away the use of one of her legs, but she has her heat spot, and she gets her special food with Atlas in the morning. She's not with him because he still wants to breed the girls. He also has arthritis. He's got severe arthritis, and sometimes I will crush an aspirin into his soft food that I give him, and he doesn't even notice it. He just scarfs it right up. A baby, normally it would be a baby aspirin, but he's a big bird. Even then, he's a big bird. So sometimes, and at his age, I figure I'm not too worried about it. Sometimes I just crush up an entire 325 milligram aspirin. I mean, yes, it's a lot of aspirin for a bird of his size, for any bird, but I mean, I figure at his age, if I can relieve some of his arthritic, his pain in his arthritic joints, I'm trying to rush because I'm freezing to death, then that's all the better. But I hope this makes any sense. But you've just got to make sure they can regulate temperature. You've got to give them extra protein. You've got to do something to get their appetite going. The black soldier fly larvae are fabulous for that. And they also provide a lot of nutrition. It's not just empty calories. It's a lot of good, solid protein and a lot of calcium. And also, when you give them this food, if you make scrambled eggs or your tuna, pour a little olive oil on it, or melt some coconut oil or something. Give them some extra fat. I even take our steaks that we eat. If there's any fat that we cut off, any trimmings, I cut them up and I feed them to Atlas, and they are all over it. Chickens love meat. They love animal protein. So feed them extra fat too, and fat off of your steaks. Ground beef. I mean, no, it's expensive for you, but if there's anything extra left, give it to your chickens. They love it, and they can use it too. So I hope this helps, and I hope you don't have any ailing birds. I just always have old birds. I just always have somebody old. Right now, I really only have Atlas, who is turning 9, and I have almost 11-year-old Mina, and I have 11-year-old Drusilla, and then I have a couple of birds who are about 7 years old. And all the Brahmas, except for Cora, are 6.5 now. So, they're getting up there. I have a lot of old birds, and so I'm always thinking of ways to support their immune system and support their health. And if you support their immune system, sprinkle turmeric in their food. I know some people say turmeric, some people say turmeric. Either way is correct. Put some turmeric in their food. It's good for the joints. Ginger is good for their joints. I just made elderberry syrup today, and the stuff you strain off the elderberries, and I use ginger and astragalus root and cinnamon sticks and cloves, and when I strain all the solids off of that, off of my elderberry syrup, I keep it for a while, and I feed it to my chickens because it's good for their immune system too. But anyway, I hope this helps, and I know it was kind of rushed. I know it's 16 minutes, but I wanted to get all of that in, and I want to make sure that if check out the black soldier fly larva. Those things are awesome, and it's several times now I've had birds that just would not eat. That'll do it, almost guaranteed. Now, you can't guarantee anything because animals are funny sometimes, but almost guaranteed. And every time he sees that bag, his eyes light up, and he clunks over there to me and tries to get me to pour some in his bowl. So I don't really pour, I sprinkle, because you don't want to overdose him on those. That's a lot of protein. But anyway, I'm going to go inside, and I hope nobody has any ailing birds because it is very cold out here. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.